play of the game from way down.
Two, silence, Rainer getting absolutely
A team wipe.
The living bomb's going.
Oh my goodness, the ring! Bombstastic gonna find Rainer!
Oh, the life finder keeps Maya up. It was gonna be a close thing.
And healing, what? Get out of no! No!
Triple stun again. Big flanks coming out from the Blaze.
It's a death metal though.
Death metal into the double, triple kill.
All right. Oh no, it still shows Wreck. Oh, let's go ahead and turn that off for a second. Let's get Wreck out of there. Welcome everybody to the NGS Rewind. Thanks for joining me here. We are in Season 7, Week 6, and we're going to catch a C West Division game. This is going to be 10 Armor versus Periloot, and I am joined by Munkus.
Hey everybody, how are y'all doing?
I have no idea how you're getting that.
Oh, I know why.
Do you have the stream open?
Yeah, I have the stream. I was like,
there you go.
What's going on?
All right. Well, so we're gonna catch 10 Armor versus Periloot out of C West here, and these teams are overall pretty even in the standings. I'm not gonna show you the standings just yet because I want to make sure that we can pop that up for you at the end, show you where we're at, and but we can get into this here. Let's take a look at the maps, and then we'll get into what the drafts and all that stuff looks like. So. We've got bans coming out from 10 Armor on Sky Temple and Battlefield of Eternity. And Dragonshire and Volskaya banned out, excuse me, banned out by Periloot. The first two by 10 Armor, the second two by Periloot. The pick gonna be Cursed Hollow. Coincidentally, we just saw this map on another set of teams.
Now, the team that picked Cursed Hollow, did they also ban Sky Temple?
They did not.
Okay.
Nope. 10 Armor banned out BOE and Sky Temple, and Volskaya Foundry and Dragonshire were banned out by Periloot. Periloot is the one that selected Cursed Hollow. So there you go.
It seems like they banned out some of the more team fight focused maps and instead focused on the most macro intensive map in the game.
Yep. So we're gonna check out how this goes. We have some interesting heroes, some familiar ones from last game, but also some new ones. So let's go ahead and hop into this. I am gonna wait to show the game until we actually get in there, and I can turn off the little observer thing so nobody knows how long it's gonna be. You all ready to go, Munkus?
I am ready.
Excellent.
I always like watching other people play on Cursed Hollow. It's always a fun game.
Yep, I mean it's exciting because you can see the different ways that teams play, whether they focus more on pushing down structures early, or if they're very heavily on soaking and using the globals. And as we can see, there are some globals on this one.
All right.
And here we go.
All right.
So pick a team and go ahead and introduce them, Munkus. On the left is 10 Armor, on the right is Periloot. I hope.
All right. For 10 Armor, we have Argle Booster on Hanzo, Carthen on Dahaka, Hello on Taronda, Swill on Johanna, and Toasty on Junkrat.
All right. I think it's Helio. Close, though. For the right, we've got... wait, these are definitely swapped. Definitely swapped. Let's swap those. Display those again. All right, so that was... so you introduced Periloot. We've got 10 Armor on the right here. And we're going to have Dav on ETC, Johnny KA on Brightwing, Yummy Cupcakes on Falstad, Li Ming on Dogny. I'm sorry, Dogny on Li Ming, Rumblerfish on Rexar. And let me make sure
I thought you were trolling me about the Helio thing, but no, it is Helio. It just looks exactly like Hello on my display on the looking at their names in the tab.
Yeah, no worries. That eye is very close to an L, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see Li Ming versus Junkrat on the bottom, Rexar versus Dahaka up in the top. Now, what do you think about that Rexar versus Dahaka matchup?
Rexar just pretty much wins any 1v1 solo lane. He's just has infinite sustain. He can always stay safe. There's just nothing that Dahaka can really do that threatens Rexar.
All right. So we've got Falstad and Brightwing, the double global on the right side here. Maybe even could have 3 as Johanna coming in
invasion.
by herself. Okay, so yeah, so they're gonna, both teams are looking to pick up their siege camps as Hanzo is as well on his camp.
Yeah, a little curious about that invasion. It's all well and good to know that your enemy team is there, but you can't go in by yourself to do things about it.
Yeah, and you know, they have other ways to scout. They have Tyrande, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
And especially against a team with Brightwing and Falstad, even if you think it's safe, it might not be safe.
Yeah, for sure, right? They can be anywhere they want to be very quickly. So Falstad taking the auto attack build, and here comes again with that vision. This time they've got a little bit more aggression with the Hanzo, Tyrande, and Johanna. Might be able to get a kill on the Brightwing. They do, although Hanzo in a bit of danger. I'm assuming he's got his natural agility, maybe, or he just doesn't care. He'll just keep shooting onto the ETC.
Yeah, those two are chasing pretty deep for it to be a 2-on-3, and now it's a 3-on-3.
Yeah, and Rexar and Dahaka coming down as well to show face and ultimately break up this fight.
And because of that, of Li Ming rotating up, Junkrat got a ton of soak. Look, he's just pushing into this lane. That tower's almost dead.
Yeah, he's not going to be quite able to get it. Junkrat doesn't have crazy soak. But his auto attacks do a burst of AoE, so part of that wall is down. The side wall is mostly down.
Oh,
yeah, I missed that. Rexar is going to be coming up here shortly too, though.
No.
Oh, they do get the kill.
That leaping Hanzo.
And that's going to be a free tribute then for... Oh, who's on the left now? Periloot is on the left? Yeah, Periloot's on the left.
Periloot, yeah, gets the pretty easy tribute with Brightwing able to, not able to secure the victory for their team, and neither Falstad nor Dahaka leaving that top lane.
Yeah, and they really didn't need to. You know, they needed to focus on soaking to keep in the game, and
oh my.
I was just moving the mouse up there because I saw Falstad moving forward, and I was like, uh-oh, one of them is about to die.
Yeah,
but I just missed it.
He was so low on health, and he kind of walked up to Dahaka, and Dahaka said, "I'll have none of that, good sir."
Get over here.
Exactly.
All right. And Johanna doing a really good job of zoning out 10 armor from this choke point. Junkrat just says, I don't care about conventional routes. I'm going over the wall.
Well, he can do it. And Brightwing coming in up top. Big explosion.
Oh, man.
That Tyrande, so low, so very low. 400 HP. Big fighting in this choke point. Oh, that's one reset.
Yeah, those Leeming orbs getting heavy value as I think that hit 3 or maybe even 4 players at pretty much max range. And let's take a look at what Li Ming's going. So she took the, is that Charge Strikes? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Charge Blast.
Right.
So kind of an interesting build out of the Li Ming for a map like this.
I feel like she is, she's going, well, I like the Aether Walker build on this map because you get a lot more, you can actually travel faster than mount speed, or you could. I don't know if that's true since the movement speed changes. But early boss here up top, and I think that the blue team has sniffed it out, but I don't know if they could do anything about it.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming in, ETC and Dahaka in the bot lane. We're rotating up, but ultimately it looks like they're, now that the boss has been picked up, they're not going to.
Yeah, they sniffed that out pretty early on. I'm surprised that they weren't able to contest it.
Yeah. I don't have much to say about that. So we've got boss pushing in top. Curse. This is not a curse tribute, so they can go ahead and leave this alone and working towards 10. So they are Periloot's a little bit closer to 10 than 10 armor. So this is just fine as far as either team is concerned. Periloot giving them the extra tribute does get the stall there, but using that teleport.
Just being very cheeky. Oh, wow. Big whiff on that arrow. Oh, big rip.
But we see a lot of Periloot here now coming in.
Yeah, I thought they were just going to give this tribute up, but it looks like both teams had other plans. Hanzo completed his quest.
Yeah, and they managed to take out that Riptire. Almost could have killed ETC or the Falstad, but they do secure the kill onto Falstad either way. And now the Li Ming in the back there.
Just sniper picking them off one by one.
And Argyle dodging Misha there as the rest of his team picking up the ETC kill in the back there. So 3-for-0 trade with those early ultimates, even without the Riptire getting a completion. And that gives them the tribute. So Johanna was able to stall it out for just long enough, and even though the Hanzo arrow missed, it forced them to separate and isolate themselves in a way.
Yeah, I thought that Johanna was just being cheeky. I was thinking, well, surely with the boss in top, there's no way the red team doesn't just get this tribute for free. But oh man, just goes to show you, like, never give up. Always fight to the bitter end.
So Brightwing is picking up their siege camp here, and this is in the bot lane where the tribute is, so it's not gonna, it's not gonna get very far, but it does give them the XP.
Li Ming's in a little bit of trouble, but she's gonna walk away. Interesting to note that they have Brightwing and Falstad, and neither went Bright stacks.
Yeah, I did notice that, and just like in last game, the hypershift I think has a lot of value. It gives Brightwing the ability to get around the map a lot faster, and also to provide more healing when necessary.
Oh, I agree.
I think I still would have liked to see the bribe out of Falstad, though.
Yeah, especially going into Johanna. Like, I don't understand that pick when you have Johanna with a blind and you have an easy way to get value off of Falstad's W.
Yep. Well, we do get the stall, and arrow going out does miss. Johanna's coming in with Condemn, and out come the Boars. We're seeing ETC go deep into the line as Burrow used by Dahaka. And each team kind of... Oh, never mind. Falstad gusting him in.
This is very back and forth fights. Gets two people with that mosh, but ends up dying for it with the Condemn and the Toronto stun.
But these blue health bars are very low. If Li Ming can start getting these resets, which she just got one, now she's got a second one looking for the Johanna, not able to get that.
Yeah, I mean...
They're looking for the Falstad.
Falstad barely gets away, I think. Now, if Li Ming had gone...
Dominance?
Dominance, then that's a team wipe, I feel. Like, that's...
Yeah, because she was one cooldown away from being able to kill that Johanna, and pretty much any cooldown.
Yeah, it really came down to... Like, she got the kills, and she was just at too low of health. And Brightwing especially has a hard time with those burst healing for people who are diving in. And now Curse Point going over to the blue team.
And we do see they've got 4 in the mid lane trying to work on this with Dahak up in the top versus the Falstad. Falstad very low. I'm going to take a look at this here as Carthen, might be able to sneak him at some point here. Oh, the stealth, the pop-up stealth, almost able to get that tongue onto Falstad. And Falstad doesn't have any mana either, so a quick barrel roll out is about all he's got.
I wonder if Carthen's going to try to do something sneaky and grab... Nope. He's just going to run right at him through the bush. A little bit of a skirmish going on in the bottom two lanes. Both forts were managed to be saved by the red team, but They're both at like sub 1,000 HP.
Yeah, those will go down soon enough because really anybody on Periloot can come in and take them out.
Right. And right now, if you're 10 armor, okay, that's a lost mid fort.
Yeah, and that was a lot of time that they spent there staring at the boss. At that bottom boss, like they lose soak, they lose potentially structures. Falstad did get back and fill up his mana bar, so there is that. But we do see all four charging in the bot. Yeah.
I don't know why Rexar was that far forward. They had vision. They knew what was happening there.
And this is looking like with.
And
damn it! Damn it! Every time I'm like, nah, they're not gonna have anything happen up there for a bit. Nope. Somebody dies.
I mean, Dahaka shouldn't be able to threaten Falstad like that, especially in a lane without a bush.
Yeah. So Prog Rock completed now for ETC. Looking like this is a little bit of a struggle here for 10 armor. They're not able to really get into this big damage that Periloot has got.
Yeah, they keep getting the Periloot super low and not quite finishing the job off. And with Li Ming there, I really do feel like it was a mistake not going for the dominance, because that would have made that difference in that one fight. And there have been a couple of fights where Li Ming will get a kill and then won't quite be able to survive.
Well, we'll see how this goes as the game gets on later, because of course Li Ming gets even more value as her talents come on.
She didn't take a level 13 yet. That's interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering if she's deciding between Illusion Master and the additional damage one, but Falstad gonna get blown up.
Big stun.
And Li Ming has 40 health, has to get away as Brightwing, ETC, Misha, and somewhere in there, I think she just caught by a scatter arrow.
And that was the dancing Riptire there. Just this sort of nightmare situation for an ETC to be dancing next to a Riptire with no one to kill it. And this is a pretty hard situation to come back from with the boss pushing top. The lane is already super pushed in. They could easily threaten to end right here, or even with a double boss, they could threaten to end.
Yeah, so we do see Li Ming going into Cannoneer and then Fireflies, which is, this is the second time I've seen Fireflies this week. And I don't think I've seen Fireflies picked up by Li Ming maybe ever before this game. And, obviously with the Cannoneer, that gives the additional shots. But again, she didn't take Seeker, she took Calamity, right. So I don't know that I like it. But that's okay. We're going to see what happens. She gets more attacks, more auto attacks. Misha's going to get bounced over the wall there, and now they're going to get right onto this boss, get it to half quickly here, and Periloot is going to back away.
And if you're Periloot right now, then the comparative value of those curse points are not nearly as much with the lanes this far pushed in. Like, once you start taking out keeps, then what does the curse do for you, really?
Man, it's 19 to 16, so, the XP... That's the one pretty solid thing. If they can get a curse, then they can soak just a ton of XP very easily. But we just saw that scatter arrow with the piercing arrows just shredding ETC with one shot.
Oh yeah, there's so many walls here allow for really quick scatter arrow turnaround, and with those piercing arrows, you're just eating all the damage in the world in under a second. So much burst. That's the difference between fighting in the wide open lanes and fighting in these tight corridors.
So we do have Junkrat going back to get the siege camp, keeping the pressure in the top. We're going to see the rest of Periloot rotating down, obviously minus the Dahaka, to get the Bruiser camp. And now Curse Point coming up for Periloot. And if Periloot gets this, I think this is the game.
Yeah. it's certainly going to be a much harder position to defend because any structural defense advantage that Tin Armor had will just disappear. And really, Periloot doesn't even have to win this fight; they just have to delay it. Look how far in all those lanes are. Those keeps are going to be dead one way or another unless this fight ends quick. And they're down 20s here.
Yeah, and there's another big Dragon's Arrow. The Gust of Wind's going to knock back the Riptire, but it's going to come in and just demolish Yummy Cupcakes.
Three-man mosh, but no follow-up, and he gets knocked out by the Condemn immediately.
Yeah, and there goes the Li Ming again. Yep. Brightwing popping off that Polymorph, using Blink Heal to flip over to ETC, but with the level 20 Riptire back available and is going to get just one more hit.
Wow, yeah, that cooldown reduction on that Riptire is already back up.
Yeah, because he hit 3 people with it, yep. And it's essentially 5v2 as ETC's going to get grabbed by Dahaka and pulled in, and here comes the third Riptire in about a minute, looking for more targets. And of course, even if they can't hit everybody, because they have a Misha there, they can actually get extra value, extra reset value out of that. Top keep did go down, so they elected to just walk by the bottom keep. That'll eventually die to minions, even if they somehow wipe here. Blessed Shield going out. The Falstad Gust, however, pushing them deep in and getting the kill onto Junkrat. Core's getting very low. This should be the end of the game.
Now that was a very, very close early game that just spiraled out of control. And Tin Armor just could not come back. They were not able to adjust their game plan. I believe it all came down to the boss play that they got, and they were able to secure it, and then immediately after that, they didn't secure the curse point, and everything just went downhill from there.
Yep. So taking a look at the stats here, 19-5. So again, a very heavily in favor of one team game today here. This healing was a little bit more balanced than the last game that we saw, but again, different circumstances. Rexar and ETC bringing out a lot of damage soaked.
Not necessarily the stat you want, though.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends, right? I mean, as a tank, you want to see that as, higher than obviously the rest of your team.
Hanzo doing 66,000 damage, whereas on the red team, you had Falstad and Li Ming doing very similar damage, 42 and 46. That the scatter arrows and that scatter arrow build just put out so much damage. And like we said, I don't think Li Ming was able to really get the most value out of her build. She kind of went tiptoed into both builds instead of going all in on one or the other.
Yeah, and it's, I feel like that was a difficult circumstance. Certainly, do I think that lost them the game? No, but, could some different talents have maybe helped? Sure, obviously. I mean, you always look back at it and say, hey, we could have done this and that better. And that's one of those things that probably could have been, a little bit more value. So game number 1, selected and won by Periloot. Game number 2 is going to be on Braxis Holdout.
And one more thing I will point out. Mega Muffin likes to say that globals are very strong, but they're always balanced around that fact. So they take a lot of globals, but each global you do take is going to weaken the team fight that your team has. So you need to have that sort of balancing act. And I do think that, you got Falstad, but you didn't take his the bribery, so he wasn't able to get as much macro pressure. And the other team had Dahaka, who was able to really respond, in fact, faster than Falstad because of the way that their globals work. I just felt like that when you can't go too far into the global abilities. You have to balance that out on those big maps like that.
Sure. So this next map, Braxis Holdout, is going to be picked by Periloot. Again, looks like 10 armor looking for that first pick. So let's get the teams set up here on their
So Periloot chose this, and they chose the last one as well. That's really interesting because they went from the biggest map in the game to one of the smallest.
Yep. Yeah, and we're gonna see interesting. We're gonna see some interesting heroes coming out from this one again. Gonna see an Asmodan.
Oh my, Asmodan. The Division C and D superstar. Asmodan. Last time I casted with you, I believe we saw an Asmodan pretty much carry his team to victory.
Yeah, I mean, I've played some games, unfortunately, lately with some Asmodans who were good enough to do that, which, you know, makes a person sad.
I believe it was on Alterac Pass. And,
yeah, that sounds right.
He made that epic defense with his core at like 500 HP or something. Something absurd like that.
All right, game number 2 is all set up and ready to go here. Let's go ahead and get this started. Just a quick call out on the bans. In this game, Periloot banned out the Rexar, the Jaina, and Malthael. 10 Armor banned out Stukov, Junkrat, and Gul'dan. So, not a big surprise on the Junkrat. I felt like Junkrat got a lot of value there, especially with those rip tires.
Absolutely. Wow, this is... I'm sensing a theme here from one of the teams. Just all auto attack. And with that,
Was there more to that?
Okay. No. Sorry,
Okay.
I thought it cut out. Sorry, yeah, all auto attacks on one team. You have the Morales with the stem drone that can boost anyone on this team pretty big. But let's go into the teams.
All right, well, the pop-ups are going, so go ahead.
For, I believe this is 10 armor, we have...
Periloot on the left.
Periloot, sorry. Argo Booster on Hanzo, Carthen on Imperius, Helio on Anna, Swill on Johanna, and Toasty on Asmodan.
Alrighty, and for 10 armor, we've got Rumbler Fish on Artanis, Dav going to be on Muradin, Dagny on Raynor, Johnny K.A. on Lieutenant Morales, and Yummy Cupcake on Tychus.
Yeah, and the Hanzo again going for the scatter shot build. It is a very strong build, especially with the point having so many walls surrounding it. Tychus going that dash build, especially on a map with a lot of globes like this, he can complete that super early. But yeah, going all in on these auto attack heroes is exceptionally brave into Johanna.
Yeah, not only that, but, you know, into the Zerg, too. They don't have a great amount of Zerg clear, but keep in mind, too, that really the way to clear Zerg now is a little bit different. You don't necessarily have to clear all of the tiny minions really, really fast, because they come out on a rotation now. You kill the big ones that drop the tiny minions, and you're fine. So I'm interested to see how this goes, as this was played after the Braxis changes.
Right.
Holy cow, on again, destroyed there with the grenade and Raynor damage there.
And Muradin getting really low, but he managed to get off. Tychus doesn't quite. 160 HP left on that Johanna. Now this is the one huge advantage they have. They have an enormous amount of single target burst, especially with that Tychus in there.
Yeah, and you know what? The other thing that they've got going on here is that these control points don't work like they used to. You can't just get on there to stall the objective. And up in the top lane here, Artanis is going to be able to hold on to that as Imperius was trying to get in. But ultimately, he's able to maintain it for 72% until Periloot's able to come down, stall out the bottom lane as 3 of them were rotated top on the side of 10 armor.
And 10 armor is doing a much better job of macro, as crazy as it is to say, of Braxis. They are rotating up top to help. They're taking camps when they should be. They are just doing a much better job this game of map awareness and macro pressure.
Yeah, so far so good for this team, as you know, they did just lose pretty handily on the Cursed Hollows, so you know they want to come in and make a very strong statement here. But the invade coming out, Johanna's going to get on to the point, but ultimately he's going to walk away now that Murden is back. But the objective is being channeled now for Periloot.
Yeah, they that fight over the objective or over the camp did give them the time to get a little bit of percentage channel, but Artanis quickly capping it for his team and Raynor capping it back for 10 Armor.
All right, and it gets started back for 10 Armor here as Hanzo getting low is going to have to get away. Tychus grenade could probably end that, but it's going to be Morales grenade.
Too many grenades. The synergy between the team just showing full force. You have auto attackers and you have grenades.
Yeah, and you know, not necessarily tons, but you've got a swap. I don't expect to see it, but they have the potential for a haymaker. Penetrating round from Raynor, you've got a grenade from Morales, you've got a grenade from Tychus. There's a lot of ways to have displacement here.
Mm-hmm. Well, and one issue that Asmodan has on this map, yeah, after he gets stacked up, he's going to be doing a lot of damage, but he doesn't get stacked up real well on these waves, and with only 86 stacks, he's not doing much damage to it.
Yeah, but at 86, he's actually doing pretty well on the stacks. So, you know, if this game goes on for very long, we could see him getting, you know, 400 stacks by level 14 or 15 at this current rate.
Right. Well, yes, he's doing a good job stacking so far, but with this early Zerg wave, he's just not outputting nearly enough damage to put an impact on it. They could keep pushing with this wave and take out the wall, but I think they're just going to concede it and Hearth.
Yeah, and I don't know, because I don't recall the names of them, but the three that were left over, I don't think they drop minions. I think it's just the grounded ones. So
those are the Guardians, and they do drop, I believe.
We'll have to check in the next Zerg wave and see, because I thought it was just the ones on the ground, because they already get a lot of value because they can attack the structures from range and not get attacked back.
True, but and Ultralisks have the cleave.
So we're going to see Tychus and Murden rotating down, and you know, with Tychus's percent damage, that could have been pretty bad for Asmodan, but he's able to back away there, come up and help the team pick up the Bruiser camp in the top lane.
And they're not electing to rotate, which is what I see a lot of teams do after they secure the advantage in one lane or the other. They say, okay, we've taken out the fort on bottom, now we're going to rotate top, and their solo lane has nowhere to run back to.
Yeah, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing now. A little bit delayed in that as the camp up in the top now. They'll work to get this cleaned up. And almost a full level advantage going over to 10 Armor right now. Healing Grenade stalling out the healing onto Yummy Cupcake, but we don't see that green energy bar going down from Morales. She doesn't care about that grenade.
Not at all. Yeah, it's kind of funny seeing her continuing to channel the beam when it would do absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and that's just I don't know, familiarity. It's just a thing to keep mindful of as Morales. You're just burning through energy at that point. But we are going to see the kill onto Hanzo with that swap, yeah. Tychus going in really deep here. Doesn't have a lot of health. And again, the grenade, but he's able to walk away.
This is a 5v4 up top. Well, 5v3 up top. With Artanis not quite joining in the fight. Or rather, Imperius not quite joining up in the fight. And Artanis going back bottom to get the cap.
So Asmodan's sitting at 177 stacks now. So he's gonna be 200, pretty close to level 10. But level 10 gonna come up first for 10 Armor here. So what do you think? Do you think we'll see a Haymaker?
Yes, actually. It helps out their team a whole bunch.
Yeah, I could see it. I can see it happening. So Artanis getting really low from the Imperius in the bot lane. He's going to pull off, so that's going to give Periloot the point in bot. And pretty low health bars here for 10 armor. And there's the jump onto Argyle. No Haymaker yet. Come on, Muradin. Show me the Haymaker, buddy.
Wonder what they're waiting on.
So we do have the... Oh, he went out Avatar. All right, well, we're done with this game. Let's close it out.
I don't know. That might cost them the game not going Haymaker. Okay, 200 stacks on Annihilation.
And right at level 10, so good timing. But it's going to be Johanna going down from the Raynor damage and Stimdrone going out. Good night to Azmodan. Follow-up kill onto the Ana, so a triple kill for Raynor.
You can't blind Raynor when you're dead.
That is true. That is true.
Tychus popped the Odin. A little curious about that. They're going to go ahead and capture Bot Shrine. I do feel that if you go for boss too early on this map, then you are just asking for trouble. It has a lot of health, and with the early respawn timers, it is.
Oh,
really
goodbye, Hanzo. Oh, he makes it out. Wow. I thought for sure that grenade was going to get him. And that was set up by the Odin because he got him down to about half health with just one burst attack from the Odin.
From the W or from the
circle one. I don't remember which one it is.
Okay. I actually don't remember which one that is either now.
Yeah, you know, ever since I got stuck playing tanks, I don't get to play all those neat heroes anymore. Jump in from Muradin onto Johanna, but she pops in Iron Skin just before the stun from Muradin, so able to stay away from that.
And Tychus already completing his dash quest. Makes him a lot more mobile.
Laser going out onto the Ana in the backline, and now that's going to make it so the Periloot has to back away, and also Zergwave completed. It's going up in the top lane, and there's nobody there to defend it.
Oh, but that's a dead Jimmy Jams, and that's... Oh, wow. No, you can
Toasty
get that
backing away.
Azmodan, he only has 60 HP.
All right, so 2 for 2 ultimately, but we do have a full Zergwave in the top lane, and it's going nuts. Keep an eye on these floaty guys in the background. I want to see if they drop anything.
All right, I am watching the floaty guys in the background.
So far, I haven't seen anything.
I haven't seen any from either side just yet.
Maybe there's a limit on how many they can have.
Could be.
I don't know.
Yeah, they all died pretty fast there.
Yeah.
Interesting to note that Artanis did not go amateur opponent. And there are a lot of camps on this map to get huge advantage of that, plus, you know, Zergwave.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's come back to that. So, Dragon Arrow in hits the Raynor, but has the armor to defend against it. Dav there, deep in, doesn't have any mana, so he cannot Dwarf Toss out of this. But that green beam keeping him alive. Celestial Charge almost hitting him, but juked.
Big shield by Morales. I think that saved his bacon a little bit.
Yeah, that was some pretty clutch Morales play there, keeping the Muradin alive. Because Muradin had absolutely nothing but about 100 health. Well, maybe not 100, a few hundred health. Azmodan going top. So what I was going to say about amateur opponent is you know, I actually don't mind it with the build that they have, with the team they have. I don't really think that they need the additional you know, burn onto the camps. Even the boss. I mean, between Tychus and Raynor, throw out a stim drone and you know, I think that Artanis was just looking at this and wanting that survivability to make sure that he can hold on to the top lane as long as possible.
Understandable. That's understandable, but still, amateur opponent.
No, I get it, and I really do think that like amateur opponent is 99% the pick. But I think reactive parry, and I think reactive parry is almost never. But that's probably because I don't play solo lanes and I just don't get them.
Well, Imperius does hit like a chunky boy, so might have been helping them to keep the lane in their control. Big fight going on here. Lots of ults being used. Out comes the arrow, hits that Morales, canceling her green beam. Laser comes out on top of that Azudan, and he walks away.
And he's got the nano boost, but he cannot stop long enough to cast anything. Carthen's gonna have that Rainer's Raider chasing it down, and the stim drone going out on Rainer.
Wow.
But that's all they're gonna get is the kill onto the Imperius. Maybe they can get this Hanzo? Can we see a god swap here? He's the only one that, well, he does get the swap. And oh, this is a kill. Yeah, good night.
Yeah. You don't need a god swap.
Now, this is where I think, yeah, I was just gonna say, this is where I think it's appropriate for them to get on the boss, right? They just got 2 kills, they have plenty of time, the objective's channeling, and they melt this thing so fast.
Yep. That is what you call some grade A boss race. Now,
I mean, they killed the boss faster than the rest of the team killed this bruiser camp. That's nuts.
It's all that single target damage. That's all they have is single target damage.
And Ektar bringing up here that the drop pods come in about every 18 seconds from the Guardians and Ultralisks.
And Asmo is on 294 stacks.
Yeah, it just popped them up.
And interesting to note, Artanis took Purifier Beam, kind of fallen out of favor with the movement speed changes, but, oh wait, big stun, counter engage.
Yeah, Murden going down. The Dragons are going to keep Johanna alive, though.
Yeah, barely stays alive. And out comes the Odin. They're going to push in hard here. That is so close. Big swap!
Stim drone is available.
Yeah, surprising that they're not using it on that Odin.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. We'll see if they use that, but they ultimately didn't need to. There goes the stim drone onto Rainer, and by the way, the Zerg in the bottom now onto the keep. This is probably going to be the second keep going down as well.
This might just be game right here with the 16 advantage and the Zerg wave and the boss.
Yeah, it looks really solid right now.
But as I was saying, the Purifier Beam fallen out of favor, but using it as a disengage tool on Ana and on Nano Boosted Azodan is pretty genius.
That swap sending the old lady just flying into the back there, as we do see 10 Armor coming back with a vengeance in game number 2. What a game for them.
Yeah, they just completely turned that around compared to game number 1. They just 13 to 14 or 3 to 14 kills. That's like the mirror image of last game.
Very close. I think it was 19 to 5 last game, yeah.
They used macro pressure on Braxis, which is not, those are 2 phrases that you don't usually hear together, but they took the camps appropriately, they rotated well, and they were able to somehow turn an all auto attack single target team into up against the Johanna and make it work. Incredibly impressive showing by 10 Armor, and even though Jimmy was getting all those stim drones, Tychus with the 60,000 damage. If any of y'all from 10 Armor are watching, stim drone the Odin. That's so much damage, so much auto attack damage. Stim drone that Odin.
Yeah, you know what? I hate to even say this because I'm sure somebody's going to give me shit for it. You might even. I don't hate Master Assassin with Odin. I don't take it all the time, but I've definitely taken it, and I mean, it's noticeable. It's a big burst of damage, or a noticeable increase in the burst there for Odin when you've got that extra 15% haste.
Here's my thought on it. I usually don't take Odin and Into Rhythm because they kind of have a counter synergy to them, where
right,
yeah, and whereas with bigger they are, you can get the Odin out pretty quickly within the cooldown of the cooldown of your minigun is actually even smaller at that point. But the thing about the increased attack speed often is that it one thing, it feels like a win more talent, because you're only getting stacks on that if you're securing kill after kill after kill.
Yeah, but that's kind of like taking talents to supplement, XP advantages on, say, a Ragnaros, right? If you're able to do something like that, you are putting yourself into the advantage, and then you're allowing yourself to continue to grow from that advantage. So I do agree with you that it's a win harder talent for sure, but it does provide value.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to get the stacks. Let me put it that way. If Tychus was not there for every kill, he only got 13 of them for his team, so he would not have finished Master Assassin. That was a short game, but as dominating as it was, he would not have finished Master Assassin.
Yeah, and it depends too on the heroes that you have, right? If you've got a Rexar, then you can get the kills on the Misha, then that works too. So game number 3 is going to be Alterac Pass. Let me go ahead and pop up the maps here. So this one, once again, selected by Periloot. So all 3 maps being picked up by Periloot. So Cursed Hollow, 1 by Periloot, 10 armor, 1 the Braxis holdout, and then of course we have those bands there from earlier. So let's go ahead and get this started. Game number 3 on Alterac Pass.
Mega Muffin pointing something out that Anna might have been better off using Nano on Imperius, given how that Purifier Beam shut down Asmodan from using his dunk, and how fat he is.
Maybe I'm in the minority here, but I don't like Nano Boost on Asmodan anyway, because he basically gets 1 Q out of it.
One very meaty Q.
Yeah, sure.
He might get 2. He might get 2. Because of the cooldown reduction.
Yeah, maybe.
All right,
here we go. So we are all set and ready to go. We're on the right page, ready to watch game number 3. Why don't you go ahead and introduce... Oh, well, let's make sure they're on the right side. They are. Go ahead and introduce Periloot.
All right, for Periloot, we have Argle Booster on Zeratul, Carthan on Imperius, Helio on Alexstrasza, Swill on Diablo, Toasty
Wait, what the heck?
on Junkrat.
I have no idea why the names just changed in the pop-ups. So all the pop-ups are wrong colors. That's awkward. Maybe I've been doing that the whole time. I have no idea. Well, anyways, for 10 armor, we've got Rumblerfish on Thrall, Dav on Anubarak, Dagny's going to be played on Raynor, Johnny K.A. on Brightwing, and Kael'thas going to be picked up by Yummy Cupcake.
And then Mega Muffin says that you're right, that Nano Boost is a huge waste on Asmodan.
Thanks, Mega Muffin. I appreciate it.
And Thrall going Crash Lightning. I actually got into a discussion with somebody about this, and they told me that that Echo the Elements is straight up better damage than Crash Lightning, even when you complete it.
So, yes, but I feel like that depends on the situation, because if you're in an environment where there's a lot of minions, like on Infernal Shrines, where the lightning can bounce not to heroes, then then Crash Lightning would provide more value onto the heroes. Now, does that mean that Crash Lightning is the appropriate pick? I don't think so, because it's going to be much harder to successfully complete it by that point. So, I mean, I think that Echo the Elements is, generally the better pick unless you're on, like, a brawl.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
Well, I just like the meme value of Crash Lightning. I found it interesting that mathematically it seems that Echo is the better way. And Kael'thas getting the ranged Garrosh play from Junkrat and then slammed by Diablo.
Ranged Garrosh. It took me a second. What is he talking about? There's no Garrosh in this game. But fair enough. I get you. So first blood there, going over to Periloot.
Interesting. Anubarak went Legion of Beetles. There's only one skill shot I know of that he's really trying to block there, and that's Zeratul's W.
Grenades, I guess, from Junkrat?
I guess so, but those are so much more fiddly.
Yeah, no. It's not, you know, you don't see a lot of Beetle build lately, although I think you see a lot of Anub'arak, like, or a lot less of Anub'arak as a whole lately. You know, some other heroes, other tanks have kind of picked up in his position there, like ETC pretty much has picked up in his spot there, being a hero that can dive in or dive out, a little bit of, you know, displacement with the face melt, and a really solid ultimate that also has the possibility of being a global. So Anub'arak's stats have gone down pretty well too.
It really, that nerf to his shielding was super significant. Cutting into the low HP survivability of a low HP tank is always a big... Oh, and here's the value from the Beetle build. Burrows in, and they just tank those minions.
There is that, yes. So we are going to see the engage coming in from... Well, 10 armor's coming back into this. Zeratul has to back away a bit there. But the Beetle gets charged into the wall. Could be in a little bit of danger here. Gets Celestial Charge, and that's going to be the second kill. Very aggressive positioning on this big Alexstrasza W heal in the dragon form.
Yep.
And a free spread on that living bomb. Did you see that?
I don't know if I would call it a free spread, considering that he just ate wall for it.
He did. But Zeratul walking right into the dragon with the living bomb.
Yeah. And Kalthos super strong on these tight corridor maps. Sometimes it's all you could do to spread the living bomb. There's just nothing else you can do.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
I don't think that was one of them, but
yeah, other times you just see a friend and you want to share the warmth.
So Burrow charge in onto 4. Raynor trying to stall out the objective, does get the pause, and they do stop it. Imperius going in onto Yummy Cupcake, but it looks like Imperius might die if Brightwing can get a Q. Oh, he gets the poly instead, but Zeratul in the back is going to be the kill.
He was so deep, they secured the Anub'arak kill, but at what cost?
Yes, Berserk Thrall did go with Trash Lightning. That is correct. You know what? Let's take a look at that Trash Lightning. 6 stacks currently, so at the current rate, Thrall will finish Trash Lightning next game.
True. But they've only had this one big team fight because he was only at 1 stack before the first objective spawn.
You know, Monkus, nobody wants to hear your logic. We want to call it Trash Lightning and point out how few stacks there are. That's what we want to do.
Statistically, he was better off going with Echo of Elements right now.
Well, yes, there is that. But, so we'll see how it goes. I mean, again, Crash Lightning can provide a lot of value, but it also, you know, the other thing about Echo of Elements, giving you that second Chain Lightning, works really well with the level 16 Thunderstorm, I think it is. And also for everything that you get out of your trait value. So,
right.
Anyways, Diablo deep in here is going to be able to make it out. As we've got a 4-on-3, I think, in the bot lane. Was 4-on-4. Zeratul took off.
Yes,
and
4-on-3. Zera's in the mid.
And they're pushing fairly hard here. They do get 1 tower, 1 wall. Zeratul in the mid, getting that cleared up before any significant damage. And Raynor up top, able to get maybe the 2nd tower, probably.
Well, that was just some pretty intensive defense right there. That's about as well as you can hope for defending the first objective. Not losing any forts, I'll take that.
And on top of that, they come down here to start working on the boss, but I guess they realized that they just don't have any DPS down here. And you know, I'm just looking at this team fight, or the team fight potential. It seems like overall, Periloot has a little bit, I don't know, I feel like they have a little bit lower damage potential than...
Unless they land the Void Prism into APOC Retire combo.
Yeah, true.
They have the Wombo. And here's the thing. If Thrall goes Earthquake, I think that 10 armor has a chance, but if he goes Thunder, ooh, that might be a bad situation.
Well, he went Thunder. I think Earthquake was the better call too, especially on a map like this, because he's not going to interrupt anything, right? Yeah, I mean, I guess he can interrupt the Riptire potentially.
Yeah,
but
unless he is on the back line interrupting that Riptire every cast, I think he would have been better served with the Earthquake.
Yeah, we're gonna see the bro charge in onto Imperius. He pops his molten armor just to keep healthy and able to walk out there. Got a pretty heavy push in the middle with 5, although they walk away after they get the null camp, and prison camp's coming up now as well. Zeratul going heavily onto Raynor. There's that Void Prison and Riptire coming in.
Oh, whiffed the combo!
He didn't whiff it. It was a cocoon, so he couldn't turn it off. So good on Anubrak to get that cocoon out.
Oh, cocoon wasn't, or Anub wasn't in the void? Oh wow, that's mega rip then.
I think he might have been. I think that they may have overlapped on those. And so we're gonna see Cleansing Flame. I don't think that they can get the kill on anybody here because they're a little bit healthy for that. Let's take a look at what ultimates we've got as they've all come out. Actually, never mind. They're gonna fight.
Yeah, big fight going on. Raynor trying to run away from that Junkrat. Thrall doesn't quite get away.
They're trying to get out on Toasty. Burrow charging in, but the concussion mine's going to knock him out, and Kael'thas is going to go down as well. So ultimately a 3-0 in favor of Periloot. And you know what? These have been some back and forth games. The first game was very strong in favor of Periloot. Game number 2 went over to 10 armor, very much so. And at least right now in the early game, this is looking very much like Periloot's game.
Unless they keep running into issues with their Wombo combo. But yes, I think that they have the stronger overall team right now. They seem to be able to get the follow-ups with their dive a lot easier. It's hard for 10 armor to follow in with a Nubrak when you have Raynor or Kael'thas.
Big Void Prison here.
But Diablo was stuck inside of the cocoon. That Anubrak, I think, gets MVP just right now for stopping 2 Wombos single-handedly.
Yeah, because both of those would have been the end of easily 3 or 4 players just by itself. Because they both have had 3 in the Void Prison, and then, then they can clean up afterwards. Really, right. I thought a questionable dive coming in from Anubrak, going into the team all by himself with 4 surrounding him. But they made it work. They got the kills. I think
Anubrak has done quite a few questionable dive-ins this game, but so far he hasn't been punished for it that often. Only 2 deaths.
Well, we're about to see a third one because that dive-in is going to cost him the life. And that's going to give Periloot the opportunity to not push in. I thought they would just keep pushing bot because the objective's pretty well dead. It's certainly going to be dead by the time they get here, or at least close enough.
Oh,
Brightwing's coming in onto the
they'll get mid fort from it. That's something.
Yeah, I think they could have gotten bot, but that's fine. I mean, any of the lanes have value. I mean, the camps in the mid lane really provide pressure. The bosses aren't super strong, but they're enough to help win a game if you are in that position to do so.
Right. An uncontested boss will generally take out either a fort or, depending on how much progress, he could either take out the keep wall or the keep, depending on.
Yeah, and Segatai, I agree that it wasn't necessarily an intentional counter to the Void Prison, but it was a intentional counter to the combo, right? Like if he can find the Zeratul or the Diablo, then it negates their ability to do it. So we do see the bottom boss picked up by Periloot, and Carthen by himself up here, but getting the long-range APOC. Well, I don't know.
But he might still die. Dead Imperius, they throw out the gravity lapse way too early, and he just walks out of that. Ult spins.
Well, we do have the Void Prison available and Riptire, so we could still see part of that combo going off here very soon, especially as clumped together as the back of this line is.
And no cocoon to stop it.
Burrow charged in right onto the healing circle. Manages to get 3 in that living bomb spreading.
And right now, 16s are up for the side of.
I'll put this back up. Oh, big Celestial charge, but the interrupt from Anubrak. Imperius very low on mana, and Zeratul getting caught by Brightwing. Ultimately, the damage going out onto, or the kill going over to Raynor.
Yeah, I don't agree with just throwing up the Void Prison willy-nilly like that, because now the Apocalypse is 20 seconds from coming up, and it'll be another minute before the Void Prison will be up on top of that.
Yeah.
Whoa!
That was the kill onto Imperius there.
They're down 16s. Need I remind you?
Yeah, but they were able to secure the kill onto Zeratul as this fight was, a 4v4 here. And, once Zeratul went down, all they had was the poke damage out of Junkrat. I'm sorry, not out of Junkrat. Junkrat wasn't there. So it was just Imperius. But Junkrat's going to go down here. 10 armor.
Wow.
Saying, hey, guys, I don't know if you know this, but we're still in this game. Getting some significant value. First keep going over to them.
That is huge right now with the staggered deaths. This is just the amount of breathing room that 10 armor needed. They can pretty much ignore top lane right now and just focus on clearing out the other two when this objective comes up.
All right, so almost full strength for Periloot, but they're going to try to come in and get on this. Phoenix is being used to make sure that they cannot stop the channel, so it looks like 10 armor is going to be able to get the cavalry, but they may lose some players for it as Anubrak getting very low. But the Sundering able to save
saves. Yeah, I was about to say. So there you go. Sunder providing some value there.
Yep. So now, but what we still have is, yeah, we got the cavalry, but there's still forts in both mid and bot, and those lanes are pushed so far back that Periloot doesn't really even have to worry that much. They can clear these out as a team rather than having to split up and clear them out individually like they did on the first round.
Well, and conversely, 10 armor can focus on just the one lane with their cavalry, and then later come down to the other cavalry once it gets to the fort.
So Junkrat able to use that concussion mine to knock himself to safety, but there goes the cocoon and the void prison. 4 people in the void prison,
but no follow-up because of the APOC was not ready.
Yeah, I mean, Apex not available. Neither is the Junkrat thing, Riptire.
And Newbright gets sent over the wall, but he's the Newbright. He doesn't quite get away.
And the living bombs again spreading around the backline of Periloot here. We do have the Wolf Rider on the core, but again with that 40 armor, it's not going to be able to complete the game there. Does get a lot of damage though. So 10 armor manages to get both mid and bottom fort out of this cavalry. So they're looking very strong now. 10 kills to 6, and the structure advantage is in their favor.
All it takes is one objective on this map to suddenly turn the entire game around.
And I like that they're pulling back here. The objective is very low. Everybody's alive. They don't have a Nubrak. They just need to go ahead and back away here and keep things going.
And yeah, they now have a significant structure advantage because that top lane is wide open. I don't think that one lane open finishes a game on this map.
It doesn't.
But having both the fort and the keep there will certainly help.
Yeah, and not only that though, but what it can do, it may not be able to finish the game. It can certainly push the lane far enough in that you can get a backdoor attempt and only have a 15-20k core left to kill, and that's a lot easier to do.
Came out again. Zeratul just using that to run away. Again, using the Void Prison and not using it as part of the Wombo. They've done that twice, and each time they got interrupted. And since then, they haven't really been able to even try to pull it off.
Yeah, the combo hasn't really worked out quite the way they want it to. They are going to be level 20 soon here, and it looks like 10 armor is going to come to... I hate this play.
I do too.
Oh, no. And Periloot has a pretty good idea of what's going on, and they've got level 20s. Oh, no. Oh, my goodness. Cocoon going out onto Diablo.
Like
They're
this.
still on the boss, though. And Riptire's going to come in and get Kael'thas, but also damage on to Brightwing. That is a free boss, basically, for Periloot. Oh, my God. Is this game?
I think that's game. Why?
This has to be game. They can take that boss, push down that keep, and win the game.
That was... Oh, my God. Why? Like,
Mega Muffin, what darnation?
it wasn't even the right boss. They should have gone for top boss, and that would have helped them thread the end game. Oh my god.
I mean, I don't think they go for either boss unless they know that the enemy team is already on the boss.
You're right. Don't go for
But
either
holy
boss.
cow. Oh no. And here comes the boss. It's going to help them secure this. They have still 4 people dead for 15 seconds. Oh. That's gotta hurt. 10 armor. Any of you guys in chat? Oh, that feels bad. You guys were really pulling that one back. But you know what? For what it's worth, I've been there.
That hurts my soul. Oh my gosh. You hate to see it.
All right. Well, let's pop up these stats here. Holy cow. What a game. A little bit of back and forth, you know, Periloot control in the early game, 10 armor pulling it back in the kind of mid-late game, and you know, you hate to be in that position where one poor decision costs you the game, but it will always do that at the very end of a game if you're at level 20.
Absolutely. And at least if it had been in the top lane, maybe they don't end because they have so far to go there. If you're going to throw, at least throw in the right lane. God, that just hurts to watch.
But you know what? I mean, good on Periloot to be mindful of that for saying, hey, you know what? We've got our level 20s now. We have the advantage. We can push into this. Whether or not they knew that they were at that boss, they knew that that boss was the weak lane for them to go and pick up. So, you know, whether they did that intentionally to invade the camp call that was there, or whether they went there because it was the right call for them to do, either way, they made the right call and secured victory because of it. So...
Exactly. And I will point out, it's 15-7, but before that boss call, it was 10-6. So
yeah,
it was close. A lot closer, and then the boss call happened. Oh boy.
All right, well,
congratulations to Periloot.
That was a hell of a set to watch. That was a lot of fun. You know, and you know, 10 armor. Hey guys, like, listen, maybe you didn't win the game, but you guys put up a hell of a fight in that second game, and you did really well. And Braxis, Periloot, obviously, game 1 was all yours. Game 3 was a little bit back and forth. You know, both of you guys played really well, and it's not a big surprise that the standings have you relatively close there, 16-12. Of course, Periloot having the 2 points from that game. You know. If that went a little bit differently, I mean, it could be dead even. I mean, it could have been 10 armor and Periloot both at 14 points if 10 armor had picked up a 2-0. So still very close between the number 3 and 5 teams in the C West. Yeah, C West. Yep.
Hey,
so,
Stream Dagny, thank you for coming out. And yeah, like, this is kind of exactly what you want to see from a hot set. Like you have 2 games where each team is able to really, you know, show their strengths and assert themselves, and then you have game number 3, which is a back and forth slobber knocker.
Absolutely. All right. Well, crap! I already changed the thing, did it? Let's see. So that was Periloot. Let's give the update to the points there. Did that work? No, because I've got to do this. There we go. Now we got the point. So anyways, so that was match number 2 out of 4 for today's NGS Rewind. So Periloot and 10 armor. We've got the next one coming up is going to be coming at you from B East. It's going to be Jailbait versus Buff Chen. And I'm in B East. Munkus is in B East. I know Munkus is going to enjoy watching this one.
Yeah, I have a vested interest in the outcome of this game.
Absolutely. And joining us for the next set is going to be Born to Shine, also part of Division B East, just a coincidence, and our Division A moderator. So don't go anywhere. We're going to come back in a few minutes here. Munkus, anything you want to say to the people at home before we go to a quick break?
Don't do bosses at the wrong times, guys. Like public service announcement, always check your boss timings.
Also, don't do drugs.
Great fun casting with you. It's a lot of fun watching these. Hope everyone sticks around for the next set because it should be a doozy.
All right, and apparently I had you labeled as Recyclic for the whole time, but everybody saw your beaver.
Oh no!
Anyways, they saw the Munkus logo. Anyways, all right, Munkus, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Where's the Patreon thing? Let's do that.